Right then, I'm here with the big man Adam, who's wearing the lucky headphones. So yeah, just a few questions. Obviously, we've got quite a lot of new features that we've experienced today, but I want to hear from you yourself.
Yeah.
What is your favourite feature in the game, and what do you think is going to make the most difference between the current build and what we're going to have in hopefully September?
I think it's a mixture, because I think if I'm talking about what you feel straight away is things like the real touch and the precise pass. I think the things that will blow you away is the goalkeepers for sure, because it's not just the fact that they're really good. It's the first time in a PES game, certainly since I can think back to, where they look great, they move great, and they don't worry you. You can actually feel comfortable. They got goalkeepers that are going to do what they're supposed to do. So then the way you play isn't so based on worry or concern or the game intervening or ruining something special. It makes the goals you score still satisfying and look cool in the replays as well, because the keepers don't look weird and funny.
Sure.
But also then you've got adaptive AI, something that I really think is going to change sports games in general, but also when you play your single player modes and things like that. I think that's going to keep you playing for a long time.
Awesome, okay.
Yeah.
So, you've been quite honest in some of your interviews, particularly the one that you did with Squawker, and that was really refreshing to hear that kind of honesty and to hold your hands up and say, hey, we made some mistakes and we're going to try and do better next time round. And I think in terms of, as a fan, obviously I knew that some of the issues weren't obviously your fault, but it was nice to hear you be upfront about it and say, you know what, it's what it is.
It's never one person's fault.
That's
only,
it.
But it's also the fact that if it's a problem, I can't move away from it. It's my fault as long as everyone else's. I never say that it's not my fault. I'm not in charge of it.
Yeah.
I'm part of Konami and part of the PES team. And certainly, if there's a problem, then it's a problem that I have to share as well. But the apology can only go so far. I can't say sorry every year.
Yes, of course.
Every year you're saying sorry, you got a problem.
Yeah.
And I think this year when we said sorry and when we made mistakes, I think we all felt like enough was enough. There's always there has been some issues with PES over the years. Usually when we release the game, I think with PES 15 we had this issue with all the pre-order content coming into the game regarding My Club, which is the first time for My Club as well, and the fans let us off. Then for PES 16, no day one update. I'm not saying the fan let us off, but the fans were really angry, but they're still with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think what happened was we just felt, even internally, listen guys, we have to do everything in our power, not just day one update, but also everything else in the game. Listen to the fans, listen to what they've been saying to us as well, and also for ourselves, looking at where PES was and where we want to be. We had this great feeling of great review scores and all these awards, yet didn't feel the fans were as happy as everybody else. And that doesn't feel right. That really didn't feel right. We really wanted to. So I was getting loud. Shut up. We really wanted to make sure that we gave the fans a reason to believe that we were listening. It's not just about me saying sorry every year, or saying that we're listening when we're not. And I think getting you guys here super early as well, playing the game, allowing you guys to have feedback, not only for this year, but for the future in PES as well. I think it's really important, and it's something that we did, as you know, we did it in Spain today, we did it in Germany today, France, all over Europe, and it's really important that all our fans know how important they are.
Awesome. With cross-platform play on the horizon, will there be any scope within PES 2017 to use that tech if it does then go ahead in the near future?
So, it's a good question. Actually, in terms of tech, there's a lot of rumours about new tech. All over, whether it's VR, whether it's these upgraded consoles or whatever. What I can say is that whatever happens in the world, we're always keen to be a part of it. So there's certainly nothing to announce right now, or nothing that I can say that we're planning. But if anything does come up, we're going to be keen to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Certainly, one of the things that a lot of people say to me about PES is like, how can you evolve? How can you keep changing? And I keep saying it, maybe I'm a bit of a broken record, but Fox Engine is always something, mainly because I'm learning every year as well. I can't stress enough, and I've stressed it probably for 2 years now, but it's an engine that's not made for PES. It's not made for a football game.
Yeah.
So we're always adapting, and what you're seeing is a game now, year on year. One of the guys that I met last week in Milan said to me, "How have you guys made it look so much better just in a short space of time?" Because obviously you're playing it in early May, it's not even a year.
Sure.
And the main reason is because of Fox, because we keep using it. And I think other people around us are going to have to figure out how they compete with us. They're going to have to build new things, because we don't have to, because we've got something, we've got a base, but we keep building on this base as well. So we're going to hopefully keep surprising you every year, keep going, what have you guys done? And I want that feeling, because it certainly makes us feel proud when we see that happiness, excitement, surprise from you guys.
Awesome. Last time out, there was a real focus in the run to the game to the fact that it was getting more physical, and that side of things was a real big focus for you guys in terms of letting us know that we could really build our play around that.
Yeah.
This time around, yeah, absolutely. This time around, what kind of things should we be looking at focusing around? We've looked at the different kind of gameplay elements and the tactical side of things. Within that, where do you think the real focus is, and where's the direction of this game going?
Do you know, with PES 16, I think the physicality meant that you were never settled on the ball as well. And what happened was the game made you go forward. It was never a case of passing back and building. It was always moving forward. That's why the through balls worked so well. And actually, the through ball design was just like a basic case of really good game design, but for the fans, worked far too much. So when we do game design, we build a feature. Okay, lob through balls. Seriously, if the lob through balls then don't work, that's actually bad game design.
Sure.
But then you've got to build in systems which allows you to have that failure rate, which is believable, and that's even more, work, more development, right? So one of the key things with the PES 16 was, based on your question, sorry, was the physicality. That meant you were always moving, because you were always worried about getting into a physical battle. Also, back of your mind, perhaps not 100% confident with the refs as well. So if you did get impacted or fouled, the refs might not call it. This year, other way around. The collision system is great. It's new animations, well animated and things like that. However, what will happen now is that the referees will now even call up the little fouls. The little fouls means that you don't want to be too physical. So how do you play PES 17 then? Completely differently to PES 16 is the answer. You're not looking to get too physical, you're looking to cut out passes, and it comes from trust. You trust your goalkeeper, you trust your defenders, the AI. So really, you know that if a guy's going to make an overlapping run, the AI is going to be smart enough for you to follow him, or to make it that if you do hit a beautiful lob through ball, it had to be the best lob through ball, the perfect power, the perfect weight, and then if you make it, well done. But aside from that, you should cut it out, things like that. And with that, to balance it, with certain teams and players cutting out all the passing angles, what PES 17 makes you do is pass the ball back, build, go to your defenders, switch wings, try different things, because what you'll find is that teams are far more organised now, and it's not just a case of always moving forward, because if you always move forward, the ball will get cut out. If you try to lob through ball all the time, they'll get blocked or headed out, or the keeper will pick up because it'll run too far because of new physics. There's such a different way of playing, but it still feels like PES, and that's the kind of the focus for us, is keeping it PES, is keeping it responsive, making player stats mean something, make a difference, and when you press the button, something happens.
And this is a personal question. For the first time in quite a few years, my beloved Arsenal are actually licensed in this game. Thoughts and reasons for that, as much as you can.
Actually, it's a difficult one for me to talk about too much right now. What I will say, in the general sense of licensing, is that we really love partnerships, and we like new partnerships. Generally, we look at how a team is performing, certainly if they're performing well in the Champions League or in the Champions League, and because our focus with the partnerships is really making the current partnerships as strong as possible. So we're a long-term partner for UEFA, we've got the Euros, the UEFA Champions League as well. So for us, it's to make those modes as authentic as possible, and that sort of comes not just this choice that we've made, but I think some of the choices that we'll see us making in the future as well.
Awesome. That's it for me right now. So thanks, it was great speaking to you.
Thank you very much.
It's a great game, and I look forward to it in the future. Lucky headphones. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.